So there, guys, welcome back to Towns with Charon and Velerious.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Towns.
Hello, unpaused.
It's a bit of a weird one. You kind of went Velerious.
I know, I kind of went Velerious and then stopped. Let me put some more spikes on this fucking wall.
Spike it up, spike it up. You didn't end on a siege last time, did you?
Oh, piss. Yeah, I probably did. Why is that not doing spikes? Yes, I probably did end on a siege virus. Sorry, I completely forgot about that because we had like a triple siege, didn't we?
Yes.
It got a bit cray-cray.
Yes. So we were turning everyone into soldiers in order to manage the siege. I'm amazed people have not modded the shit out of Towns. I would love to see like a sci-fi Towns.
Wow.
Towns in space.
Towns in space.
Towns in
Space
space.
towns.
They could have like, you know when you dig down through layers?
Yeah.
It's like going to different levels of the ship.
Ogres have layers.
But it could be like going to different levels of the ship.
Yeah.
And it's like you construct, like instead of building like houses and things like that, they're basically like dormitories.
Well, do you remember Space Base DF9?
Yeah.
Which was looking like a pretty promising thing.
And then someone literally pulled the plug out the wall
Yeah,
it destroyed it.
Well, Double Fine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They just sort of abandoned it out of nowhere, which was a bit
annoyingly,
odd. But, you know.
Double Fine was very good back in the day.
Yeah.
Now it seems to have... it's not gone fantastic, really, as Double Fine.
I can't remember. They sort of had a phase of putting out a few really good games. I remember Stacking was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That was such a nice little... It was so different.
It was very different.
And it was a lot of fun.
And we watched Youngcast Shin play it. Oh,
Did we? God,
yeah.
That must have been a while back.
Oh, yeah. He did all the voices and everything.
Did he?
Yeah.
I vaguely remember him doing it.
Yeah. It was surprising, to be honest.
Was it?
It was probably one of the best series he's ever done on his own.
I mean, this is the thing. It's nice to watch people play through a whole game sometimes.
That's Simon.
And it's like, people don't really do that as much anymore.
No, nowadays people kind of go, oh, I don't want to do that. Although, interestingly enough, Cry, YouTuber, Cryotic,
yeah.
He said that he was going to stop doing Let's Plays, which is the thing that he's known for. Because he actually does, like, you know, the proper long Let's Plays and does, like, you know, voiceovers for every character, things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And he just suddenly said that he was stopping doing it because of the fact of the fall-off that you get with the episodes.
Yeah, which you do,
And
definitely.
he was like, so I'm obviously going to, like, try and trim that down and do more kind of one-off stuff and things like this. And then all of a sudden I noticed on his channel he's just started uploading Let's Plays again. I was like, well, it must be because someone's not enjoying doing the one-offs.
This is the thing, though. You do tend to see a lot of fall-off when you're doing stuff like that. But it's like, you know...
Unfortunately,
I like
it's
that
just
sort
a thing
of
that
shit.
happens.
I like that sort of shit. Like, I quite like nowadays that some people are doing the live streams of games. Because the thing is, games are long. That's a reason why people don't tend to commit to a full Let's Play. It's because you commit into it for like a whole year if it's a really long game. Whereas, like, nowadays people do the stream, they'll stream the game and then break it down into, like, you know, 3 or 4 hour videos on YouTube. Like, I do still like watching Lewis and Ben playing XCOM.
Yeah.
Which is fucking fantastic. I really love watching that shit.
The new streaming thing, though, it's like, unless you're really good at streaming, it just does not come off very well, really. Because there's some people that stream and, like, they put all the videos afterwards, and the videos take, like, a massive quality hit because they've streamed it.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're sat there going, yeah, but we can speak with the fans. Yeah, but then you also stream at American times.
Yeah.
So anyone in the European Union cannot see this. Well done.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I watch Critical Role, and that gets put up. Obviously, they stream that, but they stream it at a time when I'm not sure if I'm at work or I'm in bed or whatever, because it's like, it's weird American time. I think I'm probably like the middle of the fucking morning.
Yeah.
Like 2 a.m. or some shit. So I can never actually watch it live. So obviously I watch that when it streams, but they put them up on YouTube like a month in arrears sort of thing. So you're always a month behind. But you can watch the current episodes on Geek and Sundry. The only problem is the Geek and Sundry website is really fucking shit. Probably because it's hosted in America, so it doesn't buffer very well. And it just lags like hell, so I don't go on there.
At least you can buffer shit on there.
Yeah.
Other than like when you go on Hulu and it goes, this is not available in your country.
I have to just stay like a month behind because their website just does that thing where it just lags out in Chrome.
Well, the Game Theory people that I watch, they do their live streams.
We didn't lose anyone.
Where's Simon, by the way? He was stood there and then he just kind of went missing.
Probably went to bed.
But so anyway, Game Theory, they do streams for 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
And essentially it works out around about here that they start probably about midnight-ish and go till 2 a.m. in the morning, which, like, you know, for anyone working, kind of tough shit, basically, because they do it on Wednesdays as well and things like that, so it's like, it's tough shit. But Cry used to do streams that were like 6 hours long, and he'd start at like 11 o'clock over here and go till 6 a.m. in the morning and things, and it was like, everyone could see that, because it was long enough for everyone to get there, but then it started making him really tired.
Well, yeah.
Because obviously he's doing 6 hours.
I mean, God, I wouldn't want to stream for fucking 6 hours.
Well, also, he put the videos up. He didn't put videos up of it. He left them on his page so you could watch them.
Yeah.
But then still did his own thing on YouTube. So he was still rendering his videos on YouTube. And it's like...
I would still rather watch them on YouTube, mainly because, like, Twitch, the HTML5 player is really bad. And I seem to have a lot of sync problems on Twitch. Whereas on YouTube, I disable the HTML5 player and just watch it through the old player, which seems to work fine.
I'm not going to lie, I quite like watching the YouTube streams now.
Yeah.
Because bizarrely enough, the YouTube streams for me seem to work really well. And not only that, but it's like, when they upload it afterwards, it still works pretty damn good.
Well, where I was going with all this is that now that people aren't doing Let's Plays as much, I find myself watching fewer gaming videos.
I find myself watching more gamer videos, but people who I've never heard of before.
Oh, yeah, like finding new people.
I found another one recently called Yippee-Ki-Yo Falcon.
Okay.
Who does loads of Let's Plays.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's quite interesting. When I looked at his channel, in the past few months, when everyone's been going, oh, people are unsubscribing from our channel and such, he's got like another 300,000 people or something. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's great.
Because it's...
Good for him.
Yeah, but people are probably not just losing the subscriptions to your channel. They're probably just unsubscribing. They're probably just going, well, this is shit now.
Yeah, maybe.
Like fucking PewDiePie with his... when he came on recently and he was like, why are you not doing game videos anymore? I am doing gaming videos. It's like, yeah, but not in the kind of way you were doing it before. Now it's kind of, look, I'm doing a penis joke 4 times a week, and then suddenly now I'm doing one gaming video.
Yeah. Well, now that I'm not watching Let's Plays, I've started watching people play D&D loads, because you can get some nice long videos out of that. So I've been watching Critical Role, obviously, which I've been watching for a while. Shield Maidens is the newest one, which is like an all-female group. And the Bacon Battalion, who are pretty good as well. It's nice to have some like lengthy videos to watch, and like because you've got that continuation like you would with a long Let's Play. You know what I mean? You can sort of invest yourself in it and be like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what's going to happen and stuff like that.
The other thing that I don't really understand is when they all complain about it being background noise. I mean, I wouldn't give a shit if people don't sit here and watch time.
Well, that's the thing. I
put on a background noise.
I don't always watch videos.
It's like a lot of the time you
listen to them.
Well, you come for the banter.
Yeah.
You come to hear people like having a good time and chatting. It's like it's kind of like old people back in the day that used to put the TV on so they'd have someone speaking to them while they cook and everything. But nowadays we just do that.
Or like listening to the radio and shit, like before we had the internet.
Yeah. But nowadays people just do that. They just put a YouTube video on and listen to it in the background. It's just a thing that happens.
See, when I was little, before the internet came around, that was what I did. I used to listen to Radio 1 a lot, like when I was sort of young. I want to say like high school age. 14, 15 sort of thing. I had a Walkman and I had a built-in radio, and I just listened to Radio 1, and you got that sort of banter. Like you had the Breakfast Show, which was Chris Moyles and Comedy Dave, and it was like a podcast, but with music in. So you know what I mean? So like in between the songs, there'd be like 10 or 15 minutes of them just chatting about hilarious shit. And then the same again when the lunchtime one rolled round. It was Mark and Lard, who were fucking hilarious.
Kind of like when I used to play GTA, and it's like, when I was young, I used to listen to all the music and everything. Now I've grown older, I just flick on that channel where they just talk about bullshit, like killing penguins and such. And I'm just like, yeah, this is pretty fucking funny, actually. And then I was going to say as well, like in Greece, when I was younger, obviously I didn't have internet over there like all the time. So I couldn't really put like YouTube on in the background or anything like that. Music kind of limited down to music CDs. So it was kind of, what I used to do was stick VHSs on. I used to stick a video on and just have that in the background while I was playing a game.
Yeah.
That's always been a thing as well. I seem to like put very little kind of, merit points on music in games.
Yeah.
Unless the music is absolutely fucking outstanding, I'm probably going to turn it off.
Yeah.
Half the time I do that.
I don't know. I mean, maybe because I grew up with more simplistic games where the music was a sort of a bigger part of them. Because like again, what we're saying with the original Let's Com, I fucking love the music on the original Let's Com. I think it fits it really well. It's sort of very atmospheric.
Sometimes you get games that do have fantastic music.
Yeah, and I think a lot of games still try for that.
Well, interestingly enough, you know that game you got me, Enough Brick in the Mall?
Yeah.
It has zero music.
Well, yeah.
He has zero music in there at all. He's got sounds of the cash registers, like beeping, as things go through.
Yeah.
And he's got the sound of cars driving away and like doors
opening. It's like a building simulation, isn't it? So it's like
Yeah, but if you look at something like, say, Tropico, Cities XL, all of them all have some kind of music in there. Prison Architect has music.
What I hate about the games, I hate the games that have music, but then either don't have a volume slider.
That's annoying.
At all.
Or they have too many.
Or they have a volume slider, but it controls the sound effects and the music together. So you can't just drop the music and put your own music on.
I also hate the one where they've got too many of them. And they've got like music, SFX, effects, menu noises, and he's got like all these different ones. But then when you turn on the music, it turns off the cutscenes.
Yeah.
So then you have to raise the music back up, and you go, right, I'll turn down the SFX. Turn that off. There's no SFX in the cutscenes now for some strange, bizarre reason.
I know. And
it's like, why couldn't you separate all this out?
There's that weird thing that like AAA developers do, where they hard code the music into the cutscenes.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Why not just play that, like, over the cutscene? Why hard code it in? Because then it's like, it's all or nothing. You know
well,
what
I think nowadays it's probably cutting corners. It's easier just to put it in there and, record it than to tell it a specific trigger to make that work.
Well, I like the fact now that you've got games coming out where they've got the option to use non-copyrighted music in, which is quite cool. I've seen a couple of games with stuff like that.
I like the games that when you start it up, there's two boxes, one that says enable music that you untick immediately, and one that says enable SFX, which you also enable immediately, and just sit there in complete silence and put YouTube on.
Yeah, totes.
Because then you just listen to it like you were listening to radio.
Well, I've been... I've settled in for a new long sort of Let's Play on my channel. I've been doing that Shadowrun Dragonfall. Oh, God, it's exciting shit, man, because I haven't played any of the Shadowruns before, and it's like, although I'm sort of vaguely familiar with the setting from like an RP standpoint.
It's a very good kind of RPG.
Yeah, but I've never actually played any of the games, so I'm sort of really fucking loving it.
It's got a lot of RPG kind of lore in it as
well.
Yeah,
there's a lot
That's
of lore.
The thing that's kind of like, people adored about it was... It's not something that you just kind of pick up and then go, oh, well, I don't know what I'm doing with this quest. It's like, it sits there and tells you everything to do with this quest.
It's really well made, though, and it's really really well written. Like, because obviously it's, there's no voiceover, it's all sort of text-based, but they've done a great job on it. It's very entertaining.
I bet that's got good music in it.
I wouldn't know, because obviously I'm playing with it off, because it's off for the channel.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'd imagine it's probably pretty good, yeah.
I bet it's got some kind of sci-fi music.
Yeah.
Well, they also do that weird thing now, don't they, where they get, like, companies to compose the music, put that in their game, and then the company strikes you for copyright rights, and then the game's like, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, because they don't buy the whole rights to the music, they just sort of, buy the right to put it in the game, rather than the right to own it.
Which is
even fucking EA, like, half the copyright problems I've had with EA is because they don't own their own fucking music, even on games they've made in-house, like The Sims. And do you remember that time when the fucking Sims music was on some sort of advert on TV, and it's because, that sudden dawning realisation of, that's why I got a copyright strike on that video, because they don't own the fucking music to The Sims, of all things.
Well, one thing that was really weird, actually, I was watching that Falcon guy the other day, and during his video, it went silent. And I was like, that's weird. I'll untabbed out, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, he's playing a game where you basically run like a tavern, okay?
Right.
And you pick the music that goes on in there.
Right.
And he picked classical.
Yeah.
To get the nobles in. And all of a sudden, it got copyrighted by YouTube. Classical music. I was like, what? How on earth have you even got a classical music that is still in copyright?
Yeah, well,
most of the classical
it's because classical music itself isn't copyright, because obviously the composers are long dead, and copyright I think it expires depending on where you are in the world. It's sort of like roughly 90 years after the death of the composer or something like that. So obviously all this classical music that was written hundreds of years ago is fine. However, if a specific, let's say the London Philharmonic Orchestra arrange some classical music and play it, that's then their copyright. Because it's their performance of the music, specifically, that they're copywriting. So a lot of the time you can go on YouTube and they've got all the classical music on there, because they've got, recordings of it that are either public domain because they're old, or that, you know, people have agreed to put them in the public domain so that you can use them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got to be careful. So if that was a specific arrangement that's in there, if the guy's just fucking ripped it from an audio CD or something, then it is copyrightable.
Because the weird thing was, it only took out like 20 seconds of his video.
Yeah.
It didn't take out the entire track. It was just 20 seconds. So the first thing that came to my mind is it probably sounds like something. And, you know, it's claimed copyright on that bit 'cause it sounds a bit like something else, maybe.
Maybe.
Because the other thing you get...
Because I've had that before.
The other thing you get as well is like when someone fucking uses music... what was it? I had that one on BioShock.
Yeah.
Where some person made music out of a line from
somebody...
BioShock, so then he copyrighted that. And it's like, you can't copyright music that you made with fucking BioShock.
Someone had ripped the sound effects from BioShock and used them in a remix and then slapped you with a copyright claim. It was like,
for playing
fuck,
BioShock. Mate? It's like, it didn't even have the music that he has created. But it was literally just the line.
Even the false positives that come up, like that Turkish network that like claimed our Plague Inc. videos, claiming that it was like one of their YouTubers, and I'm like, no, it's not, mate. And even after we fought the claim, they then reclaimed it like a week later. I had to go and find the Turkish guy and say to him, can you tell your network to stop claiming this fucking video and saying it's yours? And he was like, what you say? That's a bit racist.
I've noticed that he's gone from Turkish to Chinese in like 5 seconds.
Well, at first he was like, nah, mate, it's like, you know, that's not a thing, what you're not lying about. So I sent him a screenshot of the claim saying it belongs to Ulas Demir, which was his name. And he was like, oh shit, okay, I'll get right on this sort of thing. And then like sorted it out.
Yeah, but everyone also nowadays is so pompous online.
Yeah, but the thing is, I said to him, why are you even getting them to make automated claims on your behalf anyway? It's like, first off, chances are no one's nicking your vids. Yeah. I mean, not to do him a discredit, but he didn't have a massive amount of subscribers, more than we do, obviously. But it's very niche because he's entirely in Turkish as well, and it's like, do you know what I mean? I doubt anyone's ripping his videos off. So it's not even worth having automated recognition on there, to be honest with you. Especially as it's not like he's making original content in the sense of like he's not making music where, you know, maybe that you won't want people ripping it off. Yeah. He's just doing Let's Plays and stuff like that and vlogs. So it's like no one's going to rip your fucking videos off. Calm your tits.
Yeah, but they do it with everything nowadays. It's like Nyancat. Nyancat is copyright now, and it's like, why do you copyright Nyancat? For fuck's sake.
Like, it's stupid. It'd be like us slapping fucking automated copyright detection on
no
ours.
No one can play Towns version 8.
It's like, why would you bother? It's like, we seriously never have to worry about that.
No one can ever do our racist voices. Would. There you go.
Oh, no!
Yes.
No!
Copyright now.
We've avoided that for so long.
It's copyright now.
Oh, why did you do it?
It's copyright now.
Shit. Oh, it's proper bad, mate.
It was all done in parody sense.
Oh, shit. So, how did we get onto this?
Copywriting. Because that guy got copyright in classical music.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just bizarre. And it's like, I think this is another reason why people are starting to get fed up with doing Let's Plays and such.
Yeah, because the music and the copyright strikes.
But also, as well, you have to do so much research to find out if you can use every single asset in a game. Because you never know when, like, you know, you might put a game up there and you can use the music, use the video, but not the cutscenes.
Yeah,
so you put a cutscene in and boom, there's a copyright strike. Or you put it in there and there's a specific sound effect that they ripped off a site somewhere of, like, a car starting, and that's copyright. So you get one every single time a car starts.
That is a thing, yeah, that happens.
And this is the kind of thing that why people now just don't make fucking YouTube videos.
It's like back in the day as well, it's like, it's amazing how many video games like use one stock sound effect for so many different things. Yeah. Like, going back to the original XCOM again and Terror from the Deep, if you play those games, the sound of the door opening on like the alien craft and stuff when you go in is the same sound from Doom, the door opening when you go through the doors on Doom.
Doesn't surprise me.
And it's in other games as well. I can't think of any others off the top of my head, but it is in other games. It's quite commonly used sound effect.
I watched this video, right?
It's like a Unity asset. Just everyone had that sound effect.
Basically, that's copyrighted by everyone. But I watched this video recently, right? Entitled "Just Like Overwatch." Okay. And it was a guy ranting about the fact that Paladins that came out on Steam, obviously, it is just like Overwatch. It is actually. They do a lot of things like Overwatch.
Yeah.
But he's writing about the fact that, like, people are just saying everything about it now. So, like, they've created a character that has a shield on it, and they're going, oh, just like Overwatch when the guy has a shield.
Yeah.
And he's like, and just like Overwatch. And then goes to every game in the past that has ever had a shield.
Yeah.
And then it's got, like, payloads. You know, in Paladins you push a payload, in that you push payload, then cuts to CF2 pushing a payload, then cuts to football where you grab the football and run to the other fucking side, and he's like, just like Overwatch!
And even TF2, I mean, I can't remember. I'm sure the first Team Fortress had payloads.
The thing is, every game nowadays takes things from the old kind of tried and tested scenarios.
Yeah.
Because what works, you might as well continue on with. There's no point changing it.
That you put your own spin on it, don't you? That's the thing. Yeah. It's sort of, that's the way things go.
It's like no game that you ever look at now will be truly kind of independent of everything else, unless if it is, it probably hasn't done very well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like
a few that die off quite fast.
I mean, that's the thing. Is 9 times out of 10, it's the indie devs who are experimenting with the new things, and it's the the AAA titles that just repeat the same old shit from the past with a different spin.
Even then, it won't be truly independent. If you look at something like, say, Fez, where the guy was trying to argue his point that his game was independent because you rotated the screen, which was something that had never been done before.
Yeah.
You rotated around the level. It was still an RPG game. That still makes it
but
non-independent kind of thing.
You're unlikely to see new genres springing up left, right, and centre because it's.
Well, no, that's the point.
The reason these genres are staples is because they're fun
and they work.
Yeah.
But the point is, when people are going like, "Oh, this is just like Overwatch," it's like, well, yeah, but in that sense, every game is like every other game. There's no game that's ever different.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's things that always take a spin on it. It's
that's the thing. You put in your own mechanic.
But Left 4 Dead takes a spin on the first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Brings zombies into it and everything like that. But
I mixed it 4-player co-op like an adventure, which was
well, to be honest, they did that in the old
pretty new thing. I mean, not as first-person, they didn't.
No, not as first-person. But the point is, they took both those aspects and made a game out of it.
Yeah.
So it's the kind of fact that even if you think like, oh, well, this is slightly different than that, it is slightly different, but they've probably taken it from 2 different games, merged it into one.
And just merged the ideas together, which doesn't always work.
There was something you showed me, like an old PlayStation game that had it, like 4-player Gauntlet or something.
I was
There's probably one.
Gauntlet Dark Legacy on the PS2 was the one that you're thinking of that I showed you, which was really fucking good. It was like like Golden Axe back in the day, where you sort of went across and you did things. It's a bit like that, but it's 4-player, okay, and it's got like various character classes, so it's not just limited to like the warrior and the dwarf and the Amazon. It's like there's loads of them, and you unlock more as you go through, and you level up. You can go from level 1 to 99. And basically, the whole world is like there's a big sort of hub and it's like staged hubs. So you start and you do the first 5 levels, and then that opens the hub to the next 5 sort of thing. Yeah. You can go back and like regrind through the earlier levels, and like before each level, you can spend the money you've got on like potions and stuff to help you get through, and there's secrets in it and stuff. And it's like it's really badass. And it was like for a 4-player game, because like there weren't many 4-player games that were co-op. Especially, pre-internet.
Yeah, and that's what kind of brought everything about, though. That 4-player kind of aspect is what's coming to future now, when we have the 4-player kind of games that come out.
Yeah.
Because it probably started off, first of all, with, like, co-op. Because most systems had 2 control boxes.
They did, even like Golden Axe was co-op back in the day. You could do it.
I mean, the one thing that you can...
Streets of Rage, which, oh my god, when my mate had a Sega, we played Streets of Rage. And we stayed. I went over to his house and stayed over, and we just stayed up for the entire night, just finishing the Streets of Rage. It was so cool.
Well, one of the things that I would say, regards with independence and such, like in video games, the clicker games are kind of like, when that first came out, was kind of something that wasn't really done much.
No, not really. I think
it's kind of like, I've not really seen much in the past of just click this button.
There might have been one or two before the obvious, but I think the popularity of Cookie Clicker is what kickstarted that, and
and everyone kind of like pointing towards it and going, "Just do this in your idle time," and everyone kind of got in on it. But it literally, to me, that's kind of like that was something that you could argue was very kind of new and innovative.
It was, but it's also a little bit of a twist on the old idle RPGs, which from back in the days of like the Merc chat rooms and stuff.
Well, yeah. But as I say, like kind of, if it is kind of like that, it's kind of taken something from there.
Yeah.
So everything does take something from somewhere. I mean, you can even do the same with movies.
Well, yeah,
like zombies.
I mean, this is the thing of how like everything we do is sort of based on what came before.
I so wish we had more genres in movies nowadays, because every time I go and click on the horror tab now, it's like zombies, 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 found footage, found footage, found footage, normal horror film. It's like just fucking.
But it's the thing. It's like a lot of people who make films are influenced by the movies they love and that they saw when they were young. Just like a lot of musicians are influenced by the music that they liked when they were little or whatever.
Yeah.
So
the point is, everything started at some point, and it's like everything up until this point is still copying.
That's the perfect quote. Yeah. It's just everything started at some point.
Yeah. Well, when video games came out, the first thing they probably did was single player, and then someone went, "Hey, what about 2 players?" And they were like, "Well, you're fucking mad!" And suddenly now 2 players, everyone's like, "I want 2 players."
It reminds me of the quote by Terry Pratchett of, "In the beginning there was nothing, which exploded."
Yeah. In the beginning there was fuck all, and the video games were invented.
And then video games. Right, shit, I'm going to pause there, Velerious. I've done a little bit of spiking, but we're over time, so we're going to have to leave it there. If you'd like to say bye-bye to everybody...
Bye-bye.
We'll see you next time, guys. Bye!